I wrote this out to make sure it doesn't go more than 5 minutes. There are, to my knowledge, 4 surviving male members of President Kennedy's White House staff. Dick Goodwin, the father of the man who introduced me, Chuck Daly, Harris Wofford, and me. I arrived in June of 1961 and was staff assistant to the president, responsible for finding people to suggest to him for presidential appointed positions. It was a small office, which has now morphed into the White House Personnel Office. I found what I now call the traditional presidency, as opposed to today's version. JFK's total staff was 77, and opposed to perhaps 1,200 today. And that included many typists and outline groups like the President's Commission on Physical Fitness. There was no chief of staff. He was his own chief of staff. There were no staff meetings because no one had the right to call one. He knew all the key people before they came to the White House. It was a personal team. Everybody was on a first-name basis, except for the president himself, including the vice president, which he didn't take kindly to. He didn't think in terms of an organization chart. He picked people he knew and trusted and figured that they would find a set of responsibilities and figure out ways to carry out those responsibilities as things went along. After about 4 or 5 days after the inaugural, Professor Arthur Schlesinger, great Harvard historian, came over from an office in the East Wing, went into the Oval Office, and said, "Mr. President, I'm not sure I exactly know what I'm supposed to be doing around here." The President said, "Don't worry, Arthur, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing around here." There was nothing, either organizationally or culturally, to discourage, never mind prevent me, when I had a superb idea that was going to save Western civilization from going to talk to Mac Bundy, the National Security Advisor, or his deputy. You know, they never adopted any of my ideas. You can see what a mess the world is in. Beginning with Nixon, it all changed. From the office of the president to the Department of the Presidency, characterized by much more hierarchy, structure, and protocol. Does that work better? Who knows? It all depends on your criteria. But a staff of so many people with access to so many resources has transformed the presidency into an operating agency. CF Iran Gate. And markedly thereby has reduced the checks and balances in our system of governance.